developer has big plans for a former Navy shipyard. Lennar wants to build housing and shopping malls, but there is one major problem. Workers allege of a fraud in a radiation cleanup. Soil samples indicate dangerous amounts of radiation and have contaminated the site. And the cleanup has proven difficult, so much so that the company in charge of the decontamination efforts have falsified results and samples to indicate lower levels of contamination. This is the worst kind of fraud that can be done. Innocent people will be living and shopping there. This lab experiment has happened before, and it's a hot particle murder. The cleanup of radioactive contamination at the Hunters Point Shipyard was marred by widespread fraud, fake soil samples, and a high-pressure culture where speed was valued over accuracy and safety. On Thursday, the four whistleblowers include a radiation safety officer who reported directly to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission, gathered with environmentalists to describe the problems with the cleanup, which has cost the federal government over $600 million. In the background, construction crews were at work, redeveloping the property, where 1,200 units of housing, millions of square feet of commercial space, and hundreds of acres of parks are planned. You want to play in a hot particle park? You're going to have a really bad time. David Anton, an attorney for the workers, said, "The Navy and the Environmental Protection Agency, as well as the district attorneys and state attorney general, should immediately launch an investigation into the cleanup, a process that should include interviews with former workers and the retesting of soils at the site." Also, the nonprofit Green Action for Health and Environmental Justice filed a petition with the NRC to revoke the license of the contractor Tetra Tech, who oversaw the cleanup at the Superfund site. Talk to the workers who were involved in the fraud, find out what fraud was taking place, and then test and sample based on reality. The Navy has fought at virtually every step at a real look at contamination at Hunters Point. Questions over the accuracy of the soil tests emerged in October of 2012, when the Navy discovered that some results were inconsistent with results from previous samples collected in some areas. While the dirt in question was identified as having been collected from beneath the lab used to conduct radiation tests on animals, an internal investigation found that at least 386 cases had been pulled from areas already given a clean bill for radiological contamination. On Thursday, former workers said soil samples from areas known to be highly contaminated were switched with dirt gathered from the foundation of an old movie theater, where there were minimal toxic chemicals. Anton alleges that at least 2,500 samples were faked. Robert McLean, a radiation technician who worked at the site in 2005, said Tetra Tech management ordered him to increase the speed of a conveyor belt system he operated, even though the soil carried by the belt could not be properly tested for contaminants at the faster speed. Management was productive driven, he said. They wanted to run it faster. I was told by Tetra Tech officials that I didn't know what I was doing. I have 25 years of experience in the nuclear power business. In a statement, Tetra Tech spokesman Charlie McPherson said, "The company emphatically denies the allegations made by individuals at today's news conference that Tetra Tech engaged in a cover-up of fraud on the Hunters Point Naval Shipyard. 5 Point Holdings, the company developing the property, said its utmost concern is the safety of our residents and employees. We are confident in the oversight process of the Environmental Protection Agency and other local and state agencies to ensure when we take title of a parcel, it's up to the standard consistent with the designated use. Yeah, designated to fry your ass. This is the kind of fraud that kills people and gives kids cancer. The harsh reality is, wherever nuclear waste has been stored, you must write that piece of land off for thousands of years. Gone to the world, perhaps forgotten, but the rads keep on killing for a millennium.